Be a magical thinker. Okay. The world is going crazy. I don't talk about politics on my show. I don't want that to be what I talk about, because that will put me in a space of anger and resentment and rage and frustration. In case anybody's wondering, where I stand on it, I am a staunch liberal, so that should just tell you about how I feel about human rights and people's rights and all that kind of stuff. And I don't talk about it because my Leo, I have Leo in my chart. I get fired up, right? I get real fired up. So I don't want that to be what this channel is about. This channel is about what I want the world to look like, what I want to create. And the only thing I have control over is me, and how I think and what I do and the action steps I take. And that's why I want to talk about being a magical thinker. Okay? Because no matter what is going on out there, you only have control over you. Yes, of course, you can be an activist. There's things that you can do. And if you feel so called to do that, do that. But I'm talking about, sort of like what they talk about with quantum physics, right? Things change when it is observed, right? So we change our realities all the time by what we're looking at. So that leads me to believe that I can create my reality the way that I want it to be, no matter what is happening out there. And by doing that, things that will show up in my life are going to be representative of that, no matter what is happening. And the more of us that do that, right, is how we are going to change the world, because we can think the world we want into reality. We think about that. We can imagine and think the world we want into reality. And it starts with yourself. So, I'm a little chilly today. I got my fan blowing, my blanket. I love to make my little videos on my cozy couch. So, what do you want the world to look like? Imagine it. Imagine it. Okay? Think it. Imagine it. Project it on the big screen. But in the meantime, how it will start to change is by how you change your little reality around you. And the way you do that is by magical thinking. Start doing magical thinking. What does magical thinking look like for you, right? I know what it looks like for me. What I do every day and how I show up and the videos that I'm creating, that is how I am changing my reality. What I think about, how I meditate, what I imagine, the visual journeys I go on, the things that I listen to, the things that I allow to come into my space. This is how I am working on my magical thinking. The spells I cast, right? We're always spell casting, and people think of it as, oh, it's witchcraft and it's evil. No, it's not. It's not. We're all doing it all the time. We just don't realize that's what we're doing. When you're saying a prayer and you're praying to God, it's the same thing. You're casting a spell. You're casting to the universe of something that you want to see, right? It's all the same. We've been told by everybody else that we should be against this or against this or against this. That hasn't worked. Being against anything just feeds it more energy and it grows. So what we have to do is be for something. For something. So what are you for in your own life? What do you want your life to look like? Let's start there. Okay, so we're starting what we want our life to look like. How do you want your relationships to look? Are there people that you need to let go of? Maybe. Do you have relationships that are always challenging? Okay, well, if you have relationships that are always challenging, then maybe you need to look at what in you is so unsettled and challenging, or that you don't want to accept about yourself, because it's only being mirrored back to you. So start where you are, start with your own life, right? What do you want your bank account to look like? I can only imagine. I think I think we all want it to look the same way, right? We want money, which is only energy, so that we could do the things that we want that bring us joy, no matter what it looks like. For some people, it's, humanitarian work. For some people, it's donating money to animal causes and helping. For some people, it's helping out friends and family. For others, it's traveling and experiencing other cultures in the world. It doesn't really matter, right? We all want more financial abundance so we can do what we want, right? So we can feed our families, pay for our bills, have a roof over our head, and live a life that we are meant to live. See, here's the thing. We're meant to have that. That's why we're here. That's why we're here learning all the lessons we're learning, because we are meant to have that. And we are also meant to allow people to have what they want. It's none of our business what anybody else is doing, unless it's infringing on our personal rights and our autonomy. Then, yeah, it becomes our business. So be a magical thinker. What does it look like in your life? Imagine it. As crazy as it can be. It doesn't matter. Just imagine that it's possible. That's all you have to start with. Imagine that it's possible, because quantum physics says that if you can imagine that it's possible, then it is absolutely possible and even probable. Now, it's much more complicated than this is the way I simplified it, and you can go down that rabbit hole and read all about how that works. But it is it is a hologram. Everything is a hologram. It's being reflected back to us of who we are. So if you are having major challenges in your life, you need to go within and look at what you're not accepting about yourself, what you haven't healed, the work that you need to do. Start there, and things will start to change, and become a magical thinker. Right? I did a post about a lot of the sayings that we say are curses, like, and you can go back and you can watch that, like, I'm dying laughing. And I say that all the time. I have to break that. That's not, what is that? I'm putting a curse on myself. I have to be very, very, very conscious about the words that come out of my mouth. And the only way that I can do that is by catching myself, right? Catching myself and shifting the realities, right? Because we are magical thinkers. We were meant to be magical thinkers. And the world we've created collectively isn't working. And that's why you're seeing a lot of the crumbling happening. And it's going to keep crumbling. So hold on to your seats. But don't focus out there. Focus on you. Get yourself calm. Get yourself peaceful. Start to have a life that you want in your own personal reality. Because what will happen is like how we catch the dis-ease of all the wrongs of the world, we will start to catch, right, the abundance, because you're going to see it in other people, and you're going to want to know, well, what are you doing? You're in the same world I am. What are you doing? Why are you so happy? Why are you so successful? Why are you so peaceful? It starts with you. So start your magical thinking. Make a magical thinking journal. What does it look like? Write down everything that you could possibly imagine could happen for you. Don't leave anything out. If you get the thought, oh, well, that could never happen, doesn't matter. Write it down anyway. Just start. Just start. And then every day, wake up with an intention. Today, I am going to be peaceful inside myself. And start from a place of peace. And find out what you need to heal if you're not coming from that place of peace. So let's be magical thinkers together so that we can project on the world what we want. All right. Hope everybody's having a good day. See you next time. Bye.